Good morning. I wanted to share my next training log with you all. It's been 4 days, and I've had some realizations, a little bit of mental setbacks, uh, recovered from that, had some clarity, and so I wanted to share with you what I'm planning on doing next, what I have been doing. Um, so, one of the things that really got clarified for me is that I need to have strong foundations, and the foundational skills that I'm going to be practicing with, and I'll share the list here, is one is awareness. Always awareness, doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're not aware of it, you can't change it, can't affect it, can't do anything. So that's your number one skill. Second skill, some people are going to laugh at this, but it's breathing. How we breathe, when we breathe, how much, how little, how we hold our breath, if we hold our breath, a huge impact on the body and the metabolism, on the mindset, whole function. We can't breathe, we die. Um, and a lot of us, including me, I'm constantly holding my breath throughout the day, especially when I'm concentrating. So that's something to really be aware of. Awareness again. And one of the skills I am working on. The third skill for myself is posture, how I hold myself, how I hold myself in space. Uh, and with posture comes tension and relaxation of the muscles, how much tension I hold. For me, a lot of it is tied to emotions, especially emotions I don't express or resentments I hold. So that's one of the areas I've been working on as well, trying to mentally and psychological work through some of those things I haven't dealt with from the past. Now, after that comes movement, and movement is one of those things that is kind of, part of all the other foundation skills. Could kind of stand alone, but they're all tied together. As we breathe, our body moves, our chest moves, our stomach moves, our shoulders move, or they should anyway. If they're all locked up, you might want to get some help releasing some of that stuff. Um, there's also lots of YouTube videos to help with release of stuck joints. Also, does help with knowing anatomy, how things work, and how they're interconnected. And sometimes you just need a specialist to help you out, which I have done in the past. So you don't always have to constantly see somebody, but sometimes when you're stuck, you can use a hand. Now, with my strength training, I realized what I'm wanting to train is not the strength necessarily. What we think of strength as muscular strength, but actually the tendon strength. How the tendons and the myofascia, the connective tissue, holds in space and helps us move. Connective tissue understanding is actually one of those things that isn't very common. It's a fairly new field in the medical industry and treatments. New field, it's been studied maybe for the last 20, 30 years. And I will make another video to help explain more in detail why that's so important and how to help move some of that stuck tension in your myofascial tissues, in your connective tissue. Then for endurance, really working on the breath work with recovery. One of the Systema training methods that I have access to is where you're exerting yourself with a breath hold, and then to a certain amount, like you start with one push up on breath hold, and then you recover through breathing. And then you do two push ups on breath hold, and then you recover through breathing. And you keep going like that, and that gives you a sense of awareness, again, awareness of what amount of exertion requires how much recovery work. And that's really good to know for your body to know, because then it can go into that automatic state of knowing, oh, we've just exerted this much, I need to recover this much for breathing. And then, of course, there's always the skill training, which I have been doing with mental thoughts of practicing the skills, physically practicing slow movements of the shots and some faster movements of the shots. Always trying to do perfect movement, with currently right now the main focus being on where are restrictions in my body, how am I holding things, are there any places where my joints or my muscles are hitching, where they're not moving smoothly, and a lot of that is easier to find out if you're actually moving slower. One of the things, for example, I had figured out is that I had a hitch in my shoulder because I was doing Tai Chi. I was moving up and down, and then as I was moving down my left arm, it's like I couldn't move it down smoothly. I actually had to like hitch it up and hitch it over to get over some restriction. And then I was able to work through that with help of an osteopath. So that awareness again is key to helping you grow and excel. Well, thank you for listening. Bye for now.